Hey, what's up, guys? This video is about credit or cash. Now, this was a huge discussion online. It was some time back, but I still remember it. Now, people brought up, if you had to make a choice, it was one of those, right? A or B. And to me, I'm looking at it as, okay, I know credit, obviously people don't understand it, right? Before I start the video, I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but I always looked at it like, okay, well, you always need money, no matter, if it's on your card or something, or, cash in hand. You always need money, no matter, how good your life is or how bad it is, right? Well, you need a lot more if your life is bad. But anyway, so I'm going through the comments. I'm reading the replies as far as the people that was, they chose credit. Like, it's always going to be credit no matter how much it is. And then the actual amount was what? I think it was like 500K or something like that. Matter of fact, that's what they were. It was 500K. They said, "Oh, would you rather have a perfect credit score or 500K?" And I'm reading the comments of the people that was like, "Oh yeah, perfect credit all the way. I'll never worry about the money." And that's fine and dandy, but it came down to it's like, well, what's your situation? I mean, if you're going to turn down 500K, you must have 500K or more in your bank account. And a lot of people was just like, oh, this the perfect credit. I'm like, how's it going to benefit you if you don't have any money? Because a lot of people assume, and you have people out there that assume if they have perfect credit, their life is going to be on easy street. I'm like, well, no, because you have to have credit. And on top of that, it's like, well, credit, you have to have money. And on top of that, it's like, how long has your credit score, been perfect, right? They look at all that. You just can't have a perfect credit score today, and most of your life, your credit's always been in shambles. Doesn't work that way. They check your credit history and the longevity, and if you ever borrowed any money, how much, and how long it took for you to pay it back. All that, they go into all that as far as your credit. All that is considered, when it comes down to having a good credit score. So a lot of people that was responding to, perfect credit over the 500K, which is fine, right? Like, it all comes down to what's your situation. A lot of people was just working little fast food jobs. I'm like, bro, like, you can have perfect credit score right now, but you're not gonna get approved for a house or a car because you don't make any money. You have to have money that goes that perfect credit score. And a lot of people was just mostly just kind of on the cash. It wasn't, the cash part wasn't just really winning, right, by a long shot. But once people started explaining how credit actually works, that's when it was like, the comment section started to side on the 400K part. And it's like, yeah, like, I can have crappy credit right now, but if I take the 500K within a year, my credit gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy to where I can, I'm in a position to where I can get a house, nice car, a loan, and have low interest rate. You know what I mean? Because I had took the 500K, and of course it wouldn't take 500K to get your credit score, in the mid or in the 800s. It wouldn't. Well, I don't know. Me, it wouldn't, right? Like, if I was, it wouldn't. Not me, but I mean, just speaking for myself, there's some people that had some crazy debt. But if you just working at, again, like, I don't know, a fast food joint or something like that, and then they give you the option. If you were to choose a 500K, you can do a lot. You can start your business. You can go ahead and start, building up your credit. And by the end of a year or two, you'll be in a great position. Not only have you left, the job you was at, but you at the end of the day, whether you start your own business or you find your, actual career, you started making more money off top just because you took the 500K. And like I said, within a year or two, your credit score is amazing, and you have quite a bit of money in your bank account to back that up. So like, okay, well, hey, this guy credit score, is not all that great. It's 700. It's not terrible. It's 700, and they wanted a loan for 50,000. Check their, his account. The guy has over 400K in his account, so clearly he doesn't need our money. But I understand what he's doing. He's trying to build his credit up. So, I mean, that's a no-brainer. It's like, hey, all right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and give him the loan, and we'll see what he do with this. And then it may not be 50, but you know, you may start off at 5,000, whatever, 10, because you do have to build a relationship. Now, at the beginning of your credit score, well, you got a 700 credit, so your credit, your interest rate is gonna be low anyway. But you go ahead and borrow the 50K, you know, you pay it back on time, and then next thing you know, hey, you know, next time you need to borrow some money, you know, you're approved for 70K. You know, you borrow that, you pay it back on time. I don't believe in on time. It's either you're late or you're early. So you pay, you know, you pay the loan back early, and then they come back to you, hey, you know, hey, you doing so far so good, man. You know, you paid the 50, you paid the 70 off, not on time, but early. Hey, you borrow money again, man. You know, you're approved for 100K, and that's pretty much how that works. That's it. That's pretty much the head start if you just want to start building your credit up. But if you have great credit and you're working in a fast food restaurant and you try to, hey, man, I need a $50,000 loan. All right, man, you know, our credit score is great, and we go ahead and, you know, see what's going on with your bank account. Okay, all right. Oh, wait a minute, dude, you only have $150 in your checking, and you have $3 in your savings. How long you been working here? Where do you work again? Oh, I work at Chipotle. Dude, you don't even make that a year. So what it look like us letting you borrow 50K, and you don't even make that in a year? Of course, you got great credit score, but you don't have any money. So we let you borrow that. The chance you paying that back is if anything, you're gonna be late. You're gonna have a lot of late payments, and you're not gonna pay that back in a year. You're not gonna pay that back in 3 years. If anything, you may pay that back in 5, maybe. And that's $10,000 a year. And on top of that, if you pay it off within 5, which is based off the information we have, that's a minimum. Like, if anything, it'll be longer than 5 years. So anyway, let's say you pay it off in 5 years. The interest rate is gonna kill you because you don't make enough to pay it off right away. Now, we're not saying you're gonna pay the loan back off in 6 months or when you get your taxes. We're not saying that, but we want to know that you're gonna be you can pay it off as quickly as possible, as soon as you know, as fast as you want to. We know at the end of the day you're gonna pay it off sooner than later. Now, based off the information we have, it's gonna be a lot later. Now, again, of course, your credit score is great, but you don't have any money. So we can't approve you for the 50, but we can approve you for, you know, of course, if you're making, I don't know, $35,000 a year, based off your income, we can approve you for like $3,000, maybe $5,000, and then your interest rate will be low, and, you know, we know you can pay that off in a year, you know, for sure, but we can't give you $50,000 if you only make $50,000 a year. You don't have any money. So hopefully you'll be able to pay it off in 5, but most likely it's gonna be longer than 5 years. At the end of the day, it's a car note, right? It's a car note. The only difference is, you know, that car note is too much for you to handle. You shouldn't be getting some car note that's $50,000 and you only make 35. That don't make any sense. We should be getting something that's under 15,000 and under. But this loan you're trying to get is 50,000, and you only make 35. So the chance of you paying it off in 5 years it's a possibility that you won't. It's a high chance you won't even pay it off in 5 years. So that's our money that's out there even longer. Of course, we're gonna hit you with the interest rate, but still, I don't want to have to wait, you know, 5+ years for us to get that 50,000 back. So that's pretty much how it is. Or, you know, compared to you having bad credit score, I used the first scenario earlier, but I messed that up. You're supposed to have bad credit. So compared to you having a bad credit score, but you have a lot of money, you know, 500K, they won't really look at that. Like, they won't second guess that. Like, okay, hey, credit score is kind of bogus, you know, but the dude has 500K to sit in this account. You know, I mean, we watch his transactions. He ain't really touching it. You know, it's just sitting there. So 50K, if anything, he can pay it off today. We can give him the money today. He can literally turn around and pay it back today. And of course, you know, they want a little interest. You know, they doing it. They ain't letting you borrow the money for free. We all know that. But at the end of the day, I'm more comfortable with this guy for 500K with a bad credit score over the person that has a great credit score but no money. It's like, I'm more comfortable with that. And of course, you know, the guy with the bad credit score, he's gonna have, you know, a bad interest rate. But at the end of the day, it's like, if push comes to shove, we know he has the money. The money is right here. He don't even need to borrow the 50K. The money is right in his account, sitting here right now. So only thing I can think of course, you know, you'll come in person or whatever and apply for the damn loan. Only reason I can think of that he's asking for $50K that he clearly doesn't need is because he wanna build up his credit. So if push comes to shove and something happen, I know I can easily get the money back from him compared to, you know, this dude working at Chick-fil-A or whatever, you know, barely making $32,000 a year. It's like, nah, that's a high ass risk. So a lot of people, when we start explaining that to them, they start to understand. Like some people, you know, you just can't, you know, get through them, right? But a lot of people that were just saying, oh, credit score, and then we came back and said, okay, well, what's your living situation like? You can have a credit score, but you can be homeless. You know, you got a great credit score, you can be homeless. Do you own anything? Have you ever, you know, borrowed any money and paid it back on time? Do you have a credit card? Like we started asking them all these questions. It's not just such a easy answer, right? You just can't say that and then they say like, no, it's, you know, having a great credit score, it comes with responsibilities. You just can't have a great credit score, but you never had a loan, you never, you know, had any bills in your name, none of that. You know, of course, you know, your parents could do some stuff for you, you know, when you was a kid, but still, like, they gonna look at the track record. So when we start telling them all that, they started like, oh, okay, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's all it is. So, you know, unless you got $500K minimum in your account, then you can go ahead and play with, you know, you go ahead and, you know, go for that. But if you don't have $500K, if you don't even have if you don't have $500K the minimum, me personally, I gotta have $1 million. Really $2 million for me to, I'm not gonna pass it up, I'm just hypothetically, right? I have to have over $2 million for me just to pass up on $500K. And that's just me being nice. Like, really, I gotta have way more than that. $500K? Nah. This is the honest truth. So guys, understand this. You have to have both. At the end of the day, you know, you have to have both, but this scenario that was online, you had to choose either a perfect credit score or $500K cash. Now, your answer is gonna be different from mine, but of course, I'm telling you right now, if, you know, when I said that, I said, hey, I'm taking $500K. I don't care about, it's this thing. I could be a billionaire, and that's a little extreme, right? But if someone were to come to me with that situation, I'm gonna take the $500K, because you have so much money, it's like, I don't know, it's like it's never enough, right? Because I know within a short amount of time, I'll have my credit score to where I need to be. That's really all it is to it. But you know, that's just one of the things. It's good to have them kind of discussions, because you know, you get to see other people's point of view, right? And again, your answer is going to be different from mine. Like I said, I'm taking the $500K, and I know I'm gonna build my credit score up within, you know, 12 months. It's gonna be crazy. Now, if you take the perfect credit score, I'm assuming you have at least $500,000 in your account. That's the only thing about it. Is like, you just can't have a perfect credit score and you don't have any track record, right? Like, you can't come out here, oh, I need to borrow $100,000 to start a business. Okay, that's cool. Let's say, you know, your track record. Of course, you got a perfect credit score, but let's see if you ever borrowed that kind of money before. Not necessarily $100,000, but let's see if you borrowed, you know, a lot of money before. They're gonna check your history. Like, damn, you ain't even got a cell phone in your name. Like, oh, I don't know about that. Then they gonna look at how much money you have. You ain't getting past that. Now, only way you're gonna get past that, unless you about to get like a TV or a cell phone or something. You know, something small. You know, then they're like, yeah, you go ahead and you can go ahead and you can take that. Maybe some furniture in the living room or something. I don't know, but as far as a major purchase, like, you gotta have a track record of you know, being responsible with money. Long story short, so obviously credit cards and, you know, loans that you've been paid off that actually will go to your credit report, not these little janky ass payday loan places that don't report nothing unless you don't pay, you know. But other than that, that's pretty much it. But it was a good discussion. But, you know, again, not a financial advisor whatsoever, but some common sense is not so common, right? But again, you know, it's either you're gonna take the perfect credit score or the $500K cash. And keep in mind, if you take the perfect credit score, you better have a lot going on to back that up with that credit score. You just can't be working at Chuck E. Cheese, you know, with a perfect credit score, or thinking that you're gonna go to the car lot and walk out with a brand new, I don't know, Lexus or something like that. Like, nah, it ain't gonna work. If you don't have no money to back that up, ain't nothing happening for you, player. Like I said, you qualify to get a TV or You get a Academy credit card. You know, you can do that. You get a Walmart credit card, Best Buy card. You get something like that. But as far as something like major, nah, it ain't gonna fly. But anyway, guys, what's your answer? Will you take the perfect credit score, or will you take the 500 cash? Of course, everybody's answer is gonna be different because it's based off your situation. So, you know, but anyway, if you got any suggestions, any concerns, leave them down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and no matter what, I'll take your peace, your pockets, and your purpose.